Right then, how to boil an egg. Relatively simple, and what we need to look at the variables within the environment and also the ingredients you're using. So we're going to boil 5 eggs, and we're going to use free-range organic eggs, which I'll cover a little bit afterwards. But with eggs, make sure they're at room temperature. Also, deep jug of water, and then float the eggs in to see whether they sink. Now all of them have sank. That is a good indication that the eggs are still fresh. So even if it's beyond the best before date, that's a quick measure to see. And what happens is, you get some little gas bubbles that form when the eggs start aging on the inside, and that will cause the eggs to float, which is an indication that they've become oxidized. Very, very clever eggs, very clever. This is actually porous. The shell is actually porous, and it's made of many membranes of filters and skin laid over each other, and the egg can actually breathe, you know, so very important, good little measure to check. The second really important thing is to use boiling water. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. You can start it off in cold water. I've got a kettle here which goes up to 100 degrees. It's boiled. Once I put this into the pan and put a good volume in, because it's 5 eggs here. If the egg is small or medium size, I would advise 5 minutes, but for large eggs and also 5 in one pan, I would say 5.5 minutes. So the water is boiled. I'm just going to show you. And what I recommend, just use a little tool like this. Don't shock the eggs. Just take them 2 or 3 at a time and dip. 1, 2, 3. Alexa, set the timer for 5.5 minutes.
5 minutes and 30 seconds.
1,
starting now.
2, 3. Ready, set, go. 5.5 minutes. Now, just timing all of this, I'm using some nice brown fin, which is great for soldiers, into the toaster. So the eggs are nearly done. Once the timer's gone off, and we're going to submerge the eggs we're not using into the cold water. It will keep the actual inside of the yolk wet on the inside. Right, so the toy soldiers, just nicely toasted. Cut these into diagonally across. Alexa, stop. That's the timer done. So we're going to remove these onto here. We're going to remove the eggs. Make sure you put it the sharp point down. And there we have the perfect egg. And you can clearly see here, clearly, that the yolk oozes out. Really hope you enjoy my tips. Enjoy. In terms of the eggs you choose, to buy free-range organic eggs, and that's what I recommend you to buy. A whole range of reasons, from the welfare of the animals, especially in these times. They've scientifically proven that organic eggs contain less pathogens in the form of like salmonella. Small flocks, small families, there's a lot less stress involved. You're also allowing them to freely choose the foods it would naturally eat. Let the animal be natural, let it eat what it should do, and you will reap so much more benefits. The animal will be a lot less under stress, and also it's much more nutritious. So they'll be higher in omega-3 and much, you know, and after, you know, all the food safety things, it's much better in terms of quality and nutrition. So I could not recommend, especially in these times when we're talking about viruses and you know, pathogens, pandemic, which stems from food safety. So you know, if you are going to eat animals and you're going to eat eggs, eat responsibly and eat, you know, in a way to look after not just the planet but yourselves, your own nutrition. And so I could not advise more.